Alright, so on the bench now we have another UMK3 board. This one's working, but it has audio issues. Somebody has done some type of bodge work here, and they've replaced U86, I believe. The backside of the board obviously has work done to it. So someone's replaced this in an attempt to fix the issue, probably because it was reading as bad. Whenever this reads bad, it's usually due to a bad U57 and not a U86. 86, is that what that is? Yeah, U86. So usually, I'd say 99% of the time when you have a board where it's giving you an error saying U86 is bad, it's almost always bad U57. But it's not doing it now, so I don't know if in actuality it actually was bad or somebody changed it out to do something else and changed 57. I don't know. But it's not giving me any errors for the audio, but it's also not working. So let me show you exactly what it's doing here. It does boot up and work, and you can see the audio circuit comes on. Right there should have been the bong, but got nothing. So it is working, but you can hear it sounds almost like what you normally hear in the background of an MK2 soundboard. It's kind of odd. But the game does work with no errors. And I played through a little bit and it plays just fine, and it gives no errors for audio. So if we actually go into the test menu here and go down to volume adjust, I'm going to turn it all the way up. Now listen. That sound familiar? Sounds very familiar to me. That sounds just like a bad op amp. I have a video about U37 on the MK2 soundboard causing this exact same problem. You have to have the volume maxed out, and you hear it crackling and all that. So I'm going to change the op amp. Now on these boards, the op amp is this little guy right here. It is U98. U98. So let's change this out and see what we get. Alright. Okay, so I got U98 replaced, but before I go on, I wanted to make a clarification because I made a mistake. U98 is actually a digital to analog converter, or otherwise known as a DAC. It's a DAC chip. So I made a mistake. I for some reason I was thinking that was the op amp, but the actual op amp is this guy right here. It is a, let's see here, it's a TL084CN, Tango Lima 084 Charlie November, and it is U92. U92 is the op amp, this guy right there, boom. So that's the actual op amp, that's the DAC converter, and I made a mistake on that, so I'm sorry. And you can actually see TL084CN, and it actually says right there, quad high slew rate JFET input operational amplifier. So yeah, given the fact that this sounds exactly like the MK2 boards that have the bad U37 op amp, when you power it up and you get the noise in the background, and you have to max out the audio to hear any kind of sound effects and they're garbled and crackled, I knew exactly what the problem was. I went right to what I thought was the op amp, but actually it's this guy. But I got them both changed out. This one's actually still good. I have a parts board here that I robbed these from. You can see it's completely empty. And so it turns out this is actually okay. The DAC chip's actually okay. The problem was the op amp, just like I thought. I did test it off camera and it works perfect. So, yep, my theory was correct. Bad op amp, U92. If you have this problem, replace that chip. So let me show you. I'll cut away here and we'll turn it back on the test bench and you can see it in action here. One moment. Alright, here we go. Well, hot damn. There you have it. No more interference and crazy noises going on. We'll skip past the ROM check, which I know they're already good. I've had this ran a number of times. There's my test tone. Let's go into our menu. And there you go.
Yeah. Oh, excellent.
So yeah, having a little bit of experience on these led me right to what I suspected the problem was, and I had it fixed here in about 30 minutes. So just wanted to post this one as well for those of you out there who might have any audio problems, and hopefully it helps you out. Let me go over a little bit more here real quick though. So the audio circuit on this is somewhat very simple, even though there's no actual schematics out for this. I need to fix this Barge Wire. I'm going to run this Barge Wire under the chips and over to where it needs to go and kind of shorten up to make it look better and be more secure than just flopping around in the breeze like this. But basically the audio circuit is very simple. You've got the digital to analog converter, you got the amplifier, you got the filter cap, the operational amplifier, and your main audio chip, and these three chips right here, and U57 are really the main part of the audio system. So if you ever get a board where it's giving you a bad U86, 9 out of 10 times it is not a bad U86. It's almost always a bad U57. And also, if you turn this on and have no audio at all, completely, totally silent, no test tone, even though the light lights up, there's no test tone, no audio, you turn the volume up and there's nothing. In my experience, it's almost always a bad U57. I think I've only actually had to replace the amplifier one time in all these years. It's almost always a bad U, because this is the main, I think it's a GAL chip. Yeah, it's a GAL chip that interfaces with the audio, the main audio processor here. So if this GAL chip is bad, it's not going to process any audio and you'll have nothing. So you'll have no information being sent to the amplifier or the amplifier circuit. So usually, you know, when you have an audio problem, it's either going to be the DAC converter, the op amp, or U57 most of the time. So I wanted to point that out, just a little bit more information to help you out. So off camera here, I'm going to go ahead and fix this magnet wire for the Barge that someone changed. Trying to fix this problem, it's obvious that somebody changed out U86 because you can see how it's different. I'm going to clean this up as well. I haven't cleaned up my mess here from the two chips that I changed out yet either. So, but yep, it's now operational. So that's 2 for 2 UMK3s today. Hopefully it helps you out. You can reference this in the future, and I'll see you on the next repair. Actually, sorry, one last thing here. I went ahead and fixed this Barge Wire. This is really how it should be. It's coming off of this, the 4th pin on the U86 here, and you run it under the chips, and then right to the resistor where it needs to go. This is a much better, more secure way than just having it flop around on the outside. I ended up cutting off this much of it, not needed. So this is a much more professional way to run your Barges. And then the other side, I got this cleaned up along with the work that I had done. So, yep, ready to go. So we got 2 UMK3s repaired today, the one with the audio problem and the one with the bad U45. So thanks for watching again, and we'll see you next time.